Floyd had posted that you was no longer a part of Mayweather Promotions. You care to say anything about that?
There's nothing to say other than I appreciate the opportunity to do something amazing. We had an incredible run.
Floyd said to me that he believes it's a double standard. You know, when he flashes his riches and talks about his cars and throw money around and wear big gold chains and fur coats, you know, they put him down. They say, you know, it's buffoonery. Look at him, man. What has no substance? What kind of example is he setting for the youth, for the kids?
Why can't Mayweather leave Dubai? Leonard Ellerbe's explosive claims just blew the doors off. Ellerbe, what happens when a self-proclaimed billionaire gets caught in a web of secrets, unpaid debts, and high-flying lies? Why would someone with 55 cars, dozens of girlfriends, and a global image of luxury be quietly stranded thousands of miles from home? These aren't rhetorical questions anymore. They're the very foundation of a wild, unraveling story that has dragged boxing legend Floyd Mayweather into the harsh spotlight of financial ruin, and the man throwing down the gauntlet is none other than his longtime friend and business partner, Leonard Ellerbe.
And I'm forever grateful and thankful, blessed.
Yeah.
Blessed. Yeah, blessed.
Leonard Ellerbe didn't just drop a few subtle hints, he let the entire vault explode. Years of smoke and mirrors around Mayweather's fortune went up in flames the moment Ellerbe stepped in front of a mic and decided he wasn't keeping secrets anymore. The so-called Money Mayweather brand is now facing the one thing it can't flash its way out of: cold, hard truth. In a bombshell interview, Ellerbe cracked open the vault of secrets, exposing years of mismanagement, ego-fueled spending, and shady backdoor dealings. He didn't mince words, he didn't hold back. And for once, the spotlight wasn't on Mayweather's flashy wristwatches or private jets. It was on his unpaid bills, his ruined business relationships, and the bizarre circumstances that have locked him in the golden cage of Dubai. Floyd Mayweather, the man who once turned every fight into a 9-figure payday, is allegedly swimming in debt so deep he can't see the shore. Ellerbe painted a disturbing picture, one where Mayweather has turned from boxing's wealthiest showman into a desperate man doing exhibition fights for a fraction of what he once earned. Why? Because the walls are closing in and he's running out of options.
Has no substance. What kind of example is he setting for the youth, for the kids? And then Conor McGregor is doing the exact similar antics, and he's being put on a pedestal. He's being praised for doing the exact same thing. You don't think there's no race issue in between that, or why that is?
Well, we're in 2017 and we all know what it is.
Ellerbe went beyond speculation. He made it personal. For over 2 decades, he stood beside Mayweather, building Mayweather Promotions from the ground up, managing deals, press conferences, and pay-per-views. But now that loyalty has evaporated, replaced by a wave of frustration, regret, and pointed fingers. According to Ellerbe, the Mayweather empire is nothing more than smoke and mirrors, a glittering illusion with creditors clawing at its foundation. The elephant in the room? Dubai. This isn't the city of escape it once was for Mayweather. It's become his golden prison. Rumors had swirled for months that Mayweather was stuck overseas, not vacationing, not expanding his brand, trapped.
Without question, number one, he's more hated than Conor McGregor. Number two, he's unblemished. Conor McGregor, we've already seen him lose to Nate Diaz, okay? So we saw that. There's no novelty in that. Number three, and more importantly, you got to remember something here. And it's amazing how people react. I don't sit up there and bring up race always as a negative. Sometimes, most times, I'm just highlighting the dichotomy that exists, or rather what's taking place in our society and how we can't avoid it.
Ellerbe confirmed what insiders had whispered. Mayweather owed debts so large that leaving the UA became legally impossible. His assets were frozen, his jet was grounded, and unless he coughed up massive repayments, his freedom was a negotiation, not a right. Mayweather once told Ellerbe decades ago that people show their true colors when the money dries up. Ironically, it's Mayweather's own behavior during this financial spiral that made Ellerbe finally believe that sentiment. From lavish spending on fake real estate to exaggerated claims about billion-dollar portfolios, the facade began crumbling piece by piece. Even as Mayweather flaunted $42 million homes in New York, insiders like Ellerbe hinted that the properties didn't even exist. They were part of a carefully curated fantasy designed to keep the image alive, while creditors circled like vultures. The truth? Jewelry stores weren't being paid. Tax collectors were sniffing around. Mayweather wasn't visiting Dubai. He was doing time, luxury style.
And dispersed. Dancers also had to pay house fees to perform, usually between $100 and $200 per shift. One of the women also alleges Mayweather slapped her in the face when she asked for payment from an earlier shift.
Floyd Mayweather isn't just the man in the ring anymore. He's the man ducking from financial punches outside of it. Ellerbe revealed that his exit from Mayweather Promotions wasn't a friendly parting. It was a conscious choice to walk away from a man spiraling into recklessness. Floyd's poor business decisions, mounting debt, and inability to come clean destroyed what used to be an unbreakable partnership. And Floyd didn't just burn bridges, he lit up the entire coastline. Ellerbe's role was once pivotal. He organized Floyd's most iconic fights, including the mega clash with Manny Pacquiao. He helped build the Mayweather brand into a worldwide empire, but now he's the man pulling back the curtain on a house of cards ready to fall.
Are suing boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr. and his local strip club for allegedly failing to pay exotic dancers minimum wage and illegally withholding their tips.
Mayweather's current situation is a tapestry of missteps, gambling losses, shady loan agreements, and dodging payment deadlines like jabs in the ring. According to Ellerbe, one of the most alarming episodes took place at a Dubai casino, an illegal underground operation where Mayweather allegedly lost massive sums and tried to bluff his way out with empty promises. That didn't work. Security locked down his private jet. Authorities stepped in, his accounts were frozen, and the flamboyant boxer with the $1 million grin was forced to humble himself before the people he owed. It's not just Ellerbe saying this. Other insiders have begun to whisper. Rick Glazer confirmed parts of the story. Even former protégés like Gervonta Davis threw shade, suggesting Mayweather had overstayed his welcome in the UAE because he wasn't allowed to leave. So why keep posting flashy photos online? Why show off new cars, jewelry, and buildings? Because the show must go on.
I've been reading reports about changes going on with the team. Like it looks like Rafael Garcia, the cut man, is retiring or leaving the team, and Leonard is out. What do you think about these changes?
Well, I mean, I didn't really hear about you gonna get rid of. Yeah, I didn't really hear about it, but
Mayweather's public persona is tied to his wealth. To admit defeat, to show vulnerability, would be to admit that the Mayweather mythos has cracked. So he keeps the fantasy alive. But now, even fans are starting to see through it. Comment sections have turned into roast sessions. The once worshipped TBE, the best ever, is being renamed by trolls as TNB, the No Bucks. It's a high-stakes game of pretend. A billionaire online and a beggar in private rooms with foreign creditors. Ellerbe's decision to leave wasn't just professional, it was personal. He said it hurt, but staying would have meant drowning in the same ocean of deceit. The man he once trusted had become a risk to his reputation. And after decades of loyalty, Ellerbe had had enough. It gets darker. Ellerbe has allegedly started cooperating with federal agents, offering information about Mayweather's assets and international dealings. A former business partner turning into a possible informant? That's not just betrayal, that's scorched earth.
Two women allege they were misclassified as independent contractors when they worked as dancers at Girl Collection. That's a club near Sahara and Sammy Davis Jr. Drive. The dancers allegedly could only make money through tips that Girl Collection and Mayweather collected and dispersed.
Still, many fans feel conflicted. Is Ellerbe seeking revenge after being ousted? Or is he finally freeing himself from a toxic spiral? Regardless of motive, the revelations have shattered the illusion. Mayweather is no longer just the untouchable champ. He's a man cornered by his own lifestyle. Mayweather might still appear to live like a king, but behind the scenes, he's desperately trying to pay down debts while keeping up appearances. According to Ellerbe, the monthly repayment plans are brutal. $20 million here, another $30 million there, and even that might not be enough. For someone used to bragging about earning 9 figures per fight, the current hustle is a humbling descent.
skill for skill, none of these guys can
can mess with me. Like nobody. Like I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd. Like if I'm on my game.
And then there's the drama within Mayweather Promotions. After Ellerbe's exit, Richard Schaefer took the reins. But fans and industry experts aren't convinced. Many claim Schaefer's track record is riddled with failures. No major TV deals, no traction with fighters, and a trail of half-baked promotions. Without Ellerbe, insiders fear that Mayweather Promotions is a sinking ship captained by a man who's already hit icebergs before. Even Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, voiced concern. He admitted the rift between Floyd and Ellerbe was more than just business. It was a collapse of trust, and with so many young fighters complaining they weren't getting fights or opportunities, it's clear that Mayweather Promotions had become less about boxing and more about covering Floyd's tracks. But the most ironic twist of all? Floyd Mayweather, who built his brand on always being one step ahead, is now being watched from every angle. He can't leave Dubai freely, his American assets are under scrutiny, and even his inner circle has turned against him.
Probably hand in hand. But skill-wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody. Like, talking about top to bottom list of fighters that's fighting on TV.
So what that got to do with you being, I guess, embarrassing? Like, cause again, we seen you make posts on a story like the fight not happening. Like,
cause I don't never want to, like, me not doing my job like all the way, like me not training all the way, me not, you know. So that's what made me like. So I was supposed to been in camp, you know, and I wasn't in camp, so it made like, all right,
okay.
Like, it pissed me off so bad that I was like, all right, I don't even want to fight no more. Like,
I get what you're saying.
I just said, like, not even thinking, like me, like, you know, having that, I go straight to the point. Like I was mad as that I wasn't like where I was supposed to be.
Leonard Ellerbe's decision to speak out publicly about Floyd Mayweather's financial troubles isn't just about revenge or bitter feelings. It's about exposing a man who's lived a lavish lifestyle at the cost of his own financial stability. While many fans still view Mayweather as an invincible figure, a boxing legend with endless wealth, Ellerbe's revelations serve as a reminder that not everything is as it seems. The flashy cars, gold watches, and expensive jewelry paint a picture of success, but behind the scenes, Mayweather is drowning in debt. The very same debt that has kept him trapped in Dubai, unable to escape without paying the price for his financial mistakes. While the media continues to glamorize his persona, the reality is far more complicated. Even with the fame, the fortune, and the world's admiration, Mayweather is just another man fighting to keep his head above water.
Was there any talks at all with Team Haney after both of their last fights in April and May? You know, just because after both of their fights, their schedules were cleared and they're the two top lightweight.
And as I would say, some of those fights aren't ready at the moment. That's the best way to put it. Some of those fights aren't ready at the moment, and I think you can read between the lines. Like, and one thing I do know, Tank Davis is not going to be taking no pay cut to do anything. He's the boss.
It's a harsh contrast to the image he built over the years, the undefeated champion who boasted about making hundreds of millions from a single night's work. But now, those boastful moments seem more like desperate attempts to maintain an image that reality can no longer support.
Like some confusion, is Tank a Mayweather Promotions fighter still? Is he not? What is his his involvement with Mayweather Promotions, or is it just all still PBC, Al Heyman?
Yeah, Tank is not signed to Mayweather Promotions.
Okay. Gotcha.
He's not signed to Mayweather Promotions. His contract ran out,
and
that's fine. But as I always say, contracts don't define relationships.
Yeah.
According to Ellerbe, Mayweather's extravagant habits have finally caught up with him. It's not just about a few missed payments or overdue bills. It's about a systemic financial collapse fueled by years of reckless spending and poor financial planning. Mayweather may have made a fortune inside the ring, but outside of it, he failed to protect and grow that wealth responsibly. From luxury mansions scattered across the country to endless shopping sprees at the world's most expensive boutiques, every dollar spent seemed like a celebration, but little thought was given to sustainability. Ellerbe also hinted that Mayweather's inner circle, once filled with advisors, friends, and business partners, has dramatically shrunk.
And one thing I do know, Tank Davis is not going to be taking no pay cut to do anything. He's the boss. So again, is that all those guys are terrific fighters. I ain't got to call their names. They all are terrific fighters. They fight their behind off, but at the end of the day, Tank's that dude.
Many who once benefited from his wealth have now distanced themselves, leaving Mayweather increasingly isolated. Without strong financial guidance or trusted allies, he has found himself making desperate moves, including hosting exhibition matches across the globe, particularly in places willing to pay large appearance fees like Dubai. But these exhibitions, as lucrative as they may seem on paper, are not enough to dig Mayweather out of the hole he has created. In fact, insiders suggest that many of the deals he's signing are structured in ways that leave him with less than half of the advertised payouts after legal fees, promotional cuts, and debts are subtracted. Fans who admired his ability to turn boxing into a business empire are now confronted with the reality that financial empires built on image rather than substance are fragile. Mayweather's situation serves as a stark lesson for celebrities and athletes everywhere. No matter how much you earn, unchecked spending and a lack of proper financial management can erase it all.
You know, and Floyd was that guy, you know, and the two worlds collided, and we used that as a platform for Floyd to go on to become the biggest star in the sport. This one's different because, you know, social media.
Leonard Ellerbe's comments come not just from a place of personal betrayal, but also from disappointment. After all, Ellerbe had once been one of Mayweather's closest confidants, someone who had witnessed firsthand the rise to greatness. To see it all unravel due to poor choices must be disheartening. His decision to go public could be seen as an attempt to warn others, even if it means airing dirty laundry. At the end of the day, Floyd Mayweather's story is still being written. Whether he manages to recover or continues to spiral remains to be seen. But one thing is clear. Behind the glitz, glamour, and undefeated boxing record lies a cautionary tale of how quickly fortunes can turn when pride blinds responsibility.
What's your take on all of this?
Well, my first take about it is that Floyd knows better than that. He knows that I say what I mean and I mean what I say. And if anybody's backtracking, some would say that he's backtracked. Even if I did backtrack, which I don't believe that I do, at least I got a legitimate reason to.
And still, Mayweather posts Instagram stories about buying apartment buildings, showing off luxury cars, and taking lavish trips. But look closely and you'll see the cracks. Blurry property documents, cars no one's seen on the road, events that never really happened. The illusion must be maintained at all costs, because once it collapses, so does everything else. So here we are. One of boxing's greatest icons is facing his toughest round yet. No gloves, no referee. Just a growing list of creditors, legal threats, and an ex-partner who knows where every dollar went. Ellerbe didn't just walk away from a business, he walked away from a circus. And now he's narrating the fall of the ringmaster, one interview at a time. What happens next? Will Floyd pull off one final Houdini escape? Or will this saga end with the ultimate knockout, his legacy reduced to headlines about debts, lies, and betrayal? If you're loving this breakdown and want more no-nonsense takes on the drama behind the gloves, don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. The ring isn't closed yet, and neither is the story.